it's a time for different changes in the world, different technological changes, different news changes, internet changes. What is new in the fur market now, and what's going on with the fur market?
I think one of the big changes in the fur market is that we're introducing a global standard, a certification program called FurMark. People may have heard of other industries like the jewelry industry or the wool industry having trademarks, and we feel it's time for the fur industry to have a proper mark, a mark which will give designers, retailers, consumers and politicians real assurances about the quality of the fur. And so FurMark will be launched in 2020, and it includes dressing and dyeing, farming, wild fur, sable, swakara. It's a huge program, and we think it's very, very important that we launch this in 2020.
So it's for the traceability of the fur, all the steps of the fur, you will check it in any steps?
Absolutely.
From the beginning to
from the farm or the trap through to the retailer, we have the technology to trace. That's one part of it. The second part is that each program has to have independent scientific welfare standards, and it has to be inspected by independent inspectors. So on a farm, you will have to have 3 inspections a year from an independent agency to check that you're meeting all of the requirements under the program. And that's what gives it real strength. And when we talk to the big brands, such as Prada, Fendi, this is what they want.
They want a traceability. They want to know more about who they have, yeah?
Absolutely.
So is the main reason they are ban the fur or something like that?
When Gucci and Versace announced they were stopping fur, we were very concerned other brands would follow, and we recognised we needed as a trade to do more to show the standards that we're meeting. So yes, it's very much because we want to give brands reassurance, but it's also to give politicians reassurance, because we have problems with potential bans in a number of cities, such as Los Angeles and San Francisco in America. So we need to also show the politicians of the high standards that we operate to.
What you can say also about those countries like east part of Europe, like Ukraine, Moldova, Belarus, and some other countries, also Russia, about your program, your system, and also about now opportunity of the growth.
Well, there's every reason why countries in the Eurasia region, such as Ukraine, can be involved in FurMark. We're very keen that if companies, farms, dressers and dyers meet the required standard, then they can join the FurMark program. This is a huge opportunity.
So you will have an office or of some kind of FurMark there in Ukraine, each country that control, like they have the policy of in each country?
So it's not done by country, it's done by fur type. So there's a program for fox, mink, sable, the different fur types. And as long as a farm meets the requirements, or as long as the dresser and dyer meets the requirements, it doesn't matter which country they're in. They can be allowed into the program, but they will have to have the independent inspection, and it will be IFF. IFF will run that. We have the inspectors in place, and so they will be told you have to go to Ukraine and visit the dresser and dyer, or you have to go to Ukraine to visit the fox or mink farm.
Check. Okay. Also about the tendency. What the tendency you see beside the program of FurMark? Like market is full of. I am thinking about from the side of farmers, from the side of the producers. That everybody knows that now market is a little bit full of the fur. So. What is the goals for this year's and next year's for the IFF?
I think that production will fall. I think that we will see production falling certainly already this year and through to into next year. And as production falls, we hope that the market will find a different price and that the price will come up so that farmers will start to see more in return because there's less on the market. But the big problem is China. China are buying less, China are selling less fur, there's an economic downturn in China, so we do need to see some signs of recovery in the Chinese market as well to help with the price.
Yeah, but at the same time I heard that about from 3,000 farmers, now they have about 600 or something like that, so a lot of farmers are closing now and closed in the previous year, so it means in the next few years market will grow up with the situation. How do you think? How will it go in Europe also? Because we have a big potential in Moldova, Ukraine, because of the market is the cost gives opportunity for those countries. Yeah. But what about numbers? What about big numbers? How it will work? How do you think about? What do you think? Your opinion for the next 3-4 years?
I think there'll be more farmers that decide to stop in Europe, certainly in China. And I think what we're going to move towards are a smaller number of farms, a smaller number of dresser and dyers, but an increase in the quality, an increase in the way in which production is done to the very, very highest level. And if you link that increase in quality with the Fermark program, I honestly believe that we will have maybe less people producing and dressing and dyeing, but those that are able to attract a premium price, a higher price for what they do and their product. That's how I think things will change in the next 12 months.
Because what I'm asking previous question was because now we see a lot of big farms from Europe, they want to invest in those countries. They want to move just because first of costs, yeah, and they have some not kinds of problem, but now the situation is about discussions of banning on those countries that potentially have big opportunities. Sure. What you can say about, for example, Ukraine and others?
I think for Ukraine, for Belarus and that part of the world, there is huge potential, huge skills. There are probably going to be cheaper costs in terms of actually running production and dressing and dyeing. And as long as these countries can make sure that they can meet the high standards and show that they've got independent inspection, there's a bright future, definitely.
So IFF was founded in 1949 and it is the only organization that regulates the fur trade, and we have 56 members across the globe in 40 countries. So we have a lot of members. So what we've done with all our members is we've regionalized them. So because it was too difficult for IFF to sort of monitor 56 members, as you can imagine, is quite a difficult task. So we regionalized them 3 years ago. So we've now created regions such as Eurasia, we've created Asia, then we have the Americas region, and then we have Europe. So we've regionalized all the countries into those regions, and what we do is Fur Europe looks after the European members, and then we have directors, we have regional CEOs placed in the other regions, and each of the regions have their own board, and then those boards are then fed into the IFF Global Board. So we have an IFF Global Executive Board that sort of directs and makes all the, approves all the decisions for the direction of the IFF. The IFF is constituted by the council, so we have a council meeting, an AGM every year. So the council members gather, and any changes that we need to make are approved by the General Assembly that we hold, and we tend to hold that in around sort of October time. So how financially we operate is we're supported by the auction houses. So that's how IFF operates. Exactly. The funding comes from the auction houses. So we have an agreement with the auction houses, and they fund us. And the auction houses that are part of also our members as well and we have two large European auction houses, so that's Copenhagen Fur and Saga Furs that support us, and we also have two in the Americas region, which is NAFA and Fur Harvester, and then we have one in Eurasia, which is Sois Pushnina. In a nutshell, that's, so IFF is the umbrella organization representing the fur trade. And then under IFF we have different programs that we're running. So in our budget you will see that we have different programs. So we have our sustainability, which is our fur mark, which hopefully we will launch in 2020 officially. We also run programs such as the fashion side, and that includes working with the young designers with the remix and sort of running IFF campaigns. So we run a Fur Now campaign, which is run throughout the year. And we also get our members involved in that as well. We're supporting young designers. We do give bursaries to young designers who would like some financial support, so that's also available.
We make so tension only for the fur industry, not about cow breeding, some other agriculture branches. Why just only for the fur? Because we're saying.
I think I think for the people that are in the fur industry, they feel that these groups are just targeting fur, but they're not just targeting fur. These groups are targeting different industries. For example, just a couple of days ago, I read an article that PETA has been working on banning wool, for example, and a big retailer called Boohoo. Actually, there was an article online that said Boohoo would stop doing any material that involved wool, and then a couple of days later they reversed their decision. So I think for us, we just feel, because we're in the industry, that these groups are targeting us, but they're actually targeting the meat industry. They are targeting loads of other industries. It's not just the fur trade that they are targeting, but of course, we are unfortunate because we are in the list of these many industries that they are targeting, but it's not just the fur. It is a lot of.
It has to be some line about of course, the whole industry has to be controlled. Because, for example, to see some few videos in internet, there's some animal skinning alive or something. Of course, it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's really untrue.
Yeah, and for the industry, make some a spot that all industry is like that, and. Problem is just not problem. The goal is to show that the industry is not like this little black spot. Because all industry is clear about what they do. It's the same people like in any other agriculture branch. So there has to be some line in each industry. But of course. Each industry also has some.
Yeah, and I'm sure that each of these industries have their own regulations and guidelines and what their members must follow. But for IFF, we regulate.
Drink the coffee because
we regulate our industry, and our members are responsible for ensuring that their members are following the regulations within their countries on animal welfare. So we are regulated, and we're quite strict on that.
But why they recommend to use fake fur? Because it's a plastic side. Of course, for me it's more understandable if they say, not use some plant things, some organic things, but not animal things. Why the plastic? Plastic is much more poultry to the.
Exactly. Plastic is actually harming the environment. It's pollution.
An interesting thing is, for me, was I seen that one of the organizations who's running more banning the fur. The members of that organization also they are running a company who is doing the fake fur.
Yeah.
So for me, it was surprise. From this side, I understand their mind, but from this side, you getting more problems for the future.
Yeah, and I think what we need to do is we need to educate the younger people. So what we're trying to do now is work with Generation Z, the millennials, to educate the consumer that faux fur is actually chemically more harmful than real fur, and real fur is sustainable and it's environmentally friendly. So that's what we're trying to do, and it's all about educating the younger generation.
I even see more details. I even see the picture that was explanation that fake fur are more clean than the natural fur.
But
it was a lot of states like fake fur is more. It was for me.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it, to just even digest the fact that fake fur can be better than real fur.